Hi everybody, welcome to Stamping with Melva. I'm Melva Peters and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in British Columbia, Canada. And you can find me online at stampingwithmelva.com. Here it is Tuesday night already and I'm back with a sketch challenge for you. So every Tuesday night at 6:30 Pacific I jump on and do a sketch challenge. And in about a half hour, the image of the sketch will actually be posted on Facebook and Instagram so that if you miss anything as I'm going through, the measurements or the sketch itself, you can find it on my Facebook page, group, or on Instagram. So I was inspired for this, hey Nancy, from a birthday card I got from a friend who's on the Creativity Abounds team from New Hampshire. So Lorraine, thank you so much for the beautiful card. It has ginkgo on it, which I absolutely love. But that's where this sketch came from because I thought this is a really cool sketch and I really cool layout. And so that's where I got it from. So I'm going to be playing with the Share a Milkshake bundle, which I was thrilled to see is carrying over into the upcoming 2023-24 annual catalog. So I'm going to play with that. Let's see, what else am I playing with? I'm playing with one of the embossing folders from the Basics embossing folders, which are part of the online exclusives. They may not be available. I know they were not orderable, but they are coming back. So stay tuned for those. All right, let's switch over and I will get started. All right, so here's the sketch. It's kind of fun. It's got two squares in it and they're turned to make a diamond, which I really kind of liked. All right, so the card base is 5.5 by 8.5 or 4.25 by 11. Hey Nancy, hey Joey. And then the first layer is 4 inches by 5.25. Layer number 2, which is this outside square, 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, and then the orange one is 2.5 by 2.5. And then this layer here, I've said 2 3/8 by 2 3/8. Originally, I was going to use the new punch that is part of the Circle Sayings bundle that's coming up in the new catalog, but I've kind of changed my mind. This is going to be kind of the shape, hey Lynette, that I'm doing, and I'm going to make a waffle cone tonight. And then a sentiment of, roughly 3/4 by 3 inches, whatever works for you, but the sentiment goes down at the bottom. All right, let's get started. So, like I said, I'm using the Share a Milkshake suite. It's a photopolymer stamp, 2-step stamping, and it's so much fun. Hey, Felicia. You can create milkshakes, you can create waffle cones, you can create bowls of ice cream, straws, spoons. The dies are amazing. So this is the little waffle cone that you can cut out and then fold. There is this grid that you can use. It's really cool to put behind. And then, of course, the dies to cut out the milkshake and the bowl, some hearts. This is the topping, whipped cream, and it actually cuts a slit. So we will use it to, I think I've got some paper. Maybe I didn't. Oh, I do have some crumb cake here. So we're going to make a little spoon that will stick into our waffle cone. It's such a fun. And then, of course, the cherry on top. You can cut out, stamp and cut out a cherry on top. It's so cute. I'll lose my dies. All right, let's bring in what. So this is the subtle, and you're probably not going to be able to see this, but I've already gone ahead and embossed this. So can you see, this is the really nice cross-hatched embossing folder. So there are 3 embossing folders in the bundle. There is this one, there is big dots, and then there is kind of flowery star ones. I just really love this one because it's just very subtle. It's pretty. So this is Petal Pink that I'm using. Okay, so I've got a piece of crumb cake, and I think if I cut this right, it's 4.25 by 11. And we're going to score it at 5.5. Oh dear. Well, if it does, Mern, you can catch me on the replay. Hopefully it won't keep freezing. I don't know if everybody else is having the issues. I'm not noticing it freezing on my end, but that doesn't mean anything. All right, so I've scored that at 5.5, and then fold it into the raised line or the mountain. And then we will layer this piece on. I used my glue this afternoon, and I have a really bad habit of, oh, there we go, of leaving the lid off, and then it gets a bit of a clog in it. Definitely is not empty. All right, so that's our first layer. Oh, thank you. Oh yeah, thanks. Oh, hey, Darlene, welcome. Hey, Betty. No, you're not really late, Betty. You're just, yeah, you're all good. All right, so I went ahead and cut. So this is my layer number 2 in Crumb Cake, 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, and then this is layer number 3 in Petal Pink. Now, before I actually glue this together, so here's a trick. You guys probably all know this. I forget to do it all the time, but most of this crumb cake is going to be covered up because I'm going to take it and cover it up with that. So I'm going to take and cut this little spoon out of the middle of it. It's a great way to save, oopsie, let's put it that way. Great way to save on paper, and nobody's going to know that I cut the spoon out of the middle of my layer. And that's kind of what I do when I forget to bring over a piece of cardstock to do what I wanted to do. Okay. All right, so got my spoon cut out. So now I can take and layer these two pieces together. I love any kind of subtle embossing folder because I really like to add texture to my cards. So embossing is often my go-to. Let's move that spoon out of the way. All right, so this is going to go on. And so all you do is take what would be a square and turn it, not 90 degrees because that would make it a square again, I guess 45 degrees. So this is cut so it should fit almost corner or edge to edge and then to the top, and that's where we're going to line it up. If you want, you can use dimensionals, which is I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop up my piece. Now this is a fairly large piece, so I am going to put more dimensionals on it than I typically would. Oh, let's see. I'll show you the sketch. While I'm putting dimensionals on, there's the sketch, Betty. Yeah, I typically don't I try not to use a ton of dimensionals, but if it's kind of big like this, I don't want it to sag in the middle or all along the edges. So, all right, so we're going to line that up kind of at the top. I just want it to be as straight as I possibly can get it. I'm doing very well with that tonight. There we go. That's close enough. Okay, there we go. Okay, now, instead of having a circle, I'm using my waffle cone. Oh, that's a good idea, especially with foil. Yeah. So I'm going to use my waffle cone. So this actually, you can kind of see, there you go. You can see the waffles. So you just take it and fold it. It's got the score lines on it already. And lo and behold, there's your waffle cone. So that's what I'm going to use for my circle in the middle instead of having that 2 3/8 inch circle. Now I'm going to take a dimensional, but before that I am going to score this just because I find that it pops up if I don't. I just want to. There we go. All right, and then I'm going to pop that up on, and then we'll get busy stamping and making some flavors of ice cream. Oh, thank you, darling. Yeah. If you're missing any or you want some, let me know of the sketches. Sorry, I was reading comments and only using half my words. All right. So there's, we got the waffle cone on. So now I've got some scraps of paper. And I thought I would maybe I'll stamp 3 scoops. We'll see if I actually use 3 scoops. So it's going to be a little bit bright, I think. I may have to change my mind because I was thinking I was going to do not blushing bride, petal pink for the top of the ice cream. And then I was going to do sweet sorbet. Oh, I've got a block already. All right, there we go. So there's petal pink. And I think I'll do 2 petal pinks. And then let's clean that off. Probably not a huge issue because if you try to do the light stamping first and then you go into the dark, it's not quite such a problem. Okay, let's see how dark this sweet sorbet is. Oh, maybe that's bright. That's good. Be nice bright ice cream. I'm not sure what flavor. Maybe cherry. All right. Oh, I should do. Okay, while I have my sweet sorbet out, let's see what sentiment I should use. Life is sweeter with you, I think. And I've got a piece here. You know me, I'm going to fussy cut this anyway, so I don't know why I cut something. So we'll put it on here, and then I'm going to fussy cut it out. And then the only other thing I need to stamp is this cute little cherry. So I'm going to do that in sweet sorbet as well. And then let's do the little hearts on the inside. There are these cute little hearts. Oh, not that. I need the piece for the inside. So my inside is 4 inches by 5 1/4. There we go. Some hearts along the bottom. Okay, I think I've got all my stamping done. Put that block away. All right, so now let's move that out of the way, that out of the way, that out of the way. Okay, I'm bringing my little machine. I've told you this before, but I've really become to appreciate my little mini machine since I broke my wrist and couldn't lift the other one, couldn't turn the other one. It's much better, my wrist, but I'm still finding I'm using this. I just kind of reach for it and hope I've got paper that will fit because often I have to cut the paper. All right, I'm going to just use a piece of Post-it note tape and we might as well cut this. Now, one of the things is when you're lining up this die on your cherry, because the stem of the cherry, it's kind of hard to line up. There is a hole. So if you can see the ink color through the hole, which you're not going to be able to see. Okay, let's take this out and see if I can get it lined up. If you can see the ink color through that hole, that means that your die is nicely lined up. Let's see if I can do this without moving it. There we go. Hopefully I didn't move that too much. So roll this through. This is just so easy to roll through. Okay, so we can take this off. 1 scoop of ice cream. Now, can I get my, let's take that, there's the cherry. Okay. And now let's do the other scoop of ice cream. I always used to like Tiger. Do you guys remember Tiger ice cream? It was a combination of maybe orange and licorice. That was my favorite as a kid. As I've gotten older, maple walnuts become a favorite, partly because it brings back some really lovely memories of having dinner with my brother-in-law. And he used to like, he was always trying to be so good. And so he would often, have fruit salad for dessert at the place, this independent living where he lived. But when I would go to visit, we would always decide we were gonna treat ourselves and have maple walnut ice cream for dessert. So it definitely brings back some lovely memories. All right, there. So I don't know if you can see, where's my little spoon that I cut out. So I've got my little spoon. There is a little slit in this, and you can actually put the straw, for example, through it, or you can put the little spoon through it. So it's very, I think it's an old, I don't know, there probably still exist, but yeah, it was orange and licorice. All right, so I'm gonna take and put my, I never know how these work, how this is supposed to go, but we're gonna just try and, we're gonna use dimensionals on our scoops of ice cream. Okay, I don't want to put it in there. I want to put it in the top one. So I've got 2 of the petal pink and 2 of the, oh, let's put it in this other petal pink one. So we'll just put it kind of tucked under through the slit like that. And then I take one of the dimensionals and put over top of it to hold it in place so it doesn't fall out. Okay. All right, so there's my first scoop of ice cream. And there's my second scoop of ice cream, and I may have to move my ice cream, my waffle cone down. Oh, there we go. There we go. It's kind of just, I think it'll be okay. Isn't that fun? Oh, I love it. All right, so then we've got the cherry on top. So I'm going to use a mini dimensional on the cherry. Like that. I should have probably used some crumb cake or maybe soft suede to do some brushing on here. Hey, Monica, welcome. Tiger, yeah, they're good. Somebody else remembers Tiger ice cream. Yeah, I should have probably done some, use my blending brushes with crumb cake to kind of make it look a little bit more distressed, but that's okay. All right, so let's cut this out. I'm not sure where I had Tiger ice cream because growing up, I lived in a really small town in Alberta, and the only ice cream I remember having it was called the Tasty Mill, and it was only soft ice cream. So I'm not sure where I had Tiger ice cream, but definitely comes to memory, back to memory. All right, there we go. Life is sweeter without you. No, with you. Oh, that's terrible. Life is sweeter with you. Oh my goodness, that's not good. Okay, let's put this. I guess somebody might say that, but that's not what I was really thinking. Oh gosh, see, then I left my lid off again, and I really have, there we go. It's easy. Once you start to get a little clog in your glue, you really, it clogs up easily and faster. So keep the lid on. That's my, all right, there's the inside. Now I grabbed let's put the lid on before I forget again. I grabbed the iridescent pastel gems. I was excited to see these carry over as well. And there are the ones that are Calypso Coral. There are the ones that are blue. And then there are these kind of clear ones that pick up pink. So let's do those. We'll put one up there to kind of fill that space in. All right. Licorice. Oh, yeah. That's funny, Betty. Yeah, wouldn't have to share it. I just remember the black mouth I always had after eating. Oh, it's a tasty Lynette. Lynette and I went to school together in this little town. This Tasty Mill is still there, but definitely not the same as when we grew up. Interesting. Lynette's mom still lives. So, all right, there we go. Isn't that cute? I just love this sweet. You know, it's one of those that I wasn't so sure about when I saw it, but definitely love it now. If I can just grab the sketch. So there we go. There's the sketch. And there's the card and Chinese restaurant. So thanks to Lorraine Tierney for the lovely birthday card that I got, and also the inspiration for tonight's sketch. I love it when I get cards that I just immediately go, that definitely works as a sketch. All right, so things are going to change just a little bit, at least for the summer. I'm going to start going out and doing a quilt on Fridays, and I am going to go out to where I quilt on Thursday nights, and we're going to open up from 4-ish till 9, and I said I would be there to open and close. And so Thursday nights I won't be doing my mystery challenge or technique, but I'm going to move it to Wednesday night at 5. So tomorrow's the first day that I will be live. So it'll be live on Tuesday night at 6:30 for my sketch, and then 5 o'clock Pacific for my mystery or technique, depending on which week it is. Tomorrow is a mystery. So I'm doing a tic-tac-toe tomorrow night. So it'll move to Wednesday night at 5, starting tomorrow through at least the rest of the summer, and then we'll see what happens to this evening of quilting / crafting. My plan is to take some cards to make and some kits and do something different than quilting. So join me tomorrow night at 5, and hopefully you can make it. I know it's kind of an awkward time, and if people start having issues with that time, I will maybe move it to earlier in the day. I don't know what works yet, but I just want to continue doing either the mystery challenge or the sketch. Then on Saturday, I will not be live. There is a Stampin' Up! Event local here to me within half an hour, so I will be at that all day. So join me on Sunday at 12 noon for the next one after tomorrow night's mystery challenge. All right, everybody, thanks so much for joining me. Hope you have a great evening. Happy stamping. Bye.